So, there's so much talk about the patriarchy. This is going to be a talk about the matriarchy, which we all know exists. It's a women's organization to keep men in line. Words like menstrual cycle and menopause all begin with the word men, which makes men into a bad light. This was set up by the matriarchy when they were designing the English language to make men seem bad. Worship of women. This is quite often done through what are called cover girls on the covers of magazines, movie boxes, and other advertising. For example, this case of Grand Theft Auto here has 3 women plainly visible on the front. This is set up by the matriarchy for men to worship women. On the worship of women, it's primarily sex and pornography. Women are always the point of sex-related things. Sex jokes, songs about sex, sex in movies, sex in any sort of entertainment or general conversation, it's always about the women. Women are always the central point. There never is anything about the men in there. They're thrown on as an added extra. In the pornography category, why is it always good-looking women having sex with average-looking guys? Why can't there be good-looking men having sex with average-looking women? Why is it always holding women up on this pedestal? Why is it always putting women so much better than men? Why the women worship? Well, why the matriarchy set it up this way? Also of sex topics, why does sex always have to be about pleasuring the women? Why is it always the guy's responsibility to ensure that the woman is pleasured? If you watch any movie, TV show, any entertainment, you'll always see the matriarchy slipping it in there that the sex was always better for the woman, and the guy is always asking the girl, was that good for you? And it's always his job to make sure that she was pleasured. What the fuck? Another way matriarchy controls men is through the killing of men. This is done several ways. The most obvious way is the military. There is way more men in the military than there is women. For the longest time, women weren't even supposed to be in the military. It was only men. This seems like a plan set up by the matriarchy to have men killed, while women's deaths will remain relatively low. Crime is another good example of this. There's way more male criminals than female criminals. This is because the matriarchy supports and holds up their sisters so that they don't have to commit crimes, while men are forced to go and commit crimes that could possibly end up with them either being jailed, which again there's more men in jail, but that's another discussion, or potentially killed. Another way for women and the matriarchy to keep the population of men down. Side note, relationships. Why are men always being dragged into monogamous relationships? Why can't a man be free to fuck who he wants when he wants? I find this very obvious way for the matriarchy to keep men controlled by having him sucked the life out of him by a single woman. The other way that the matriarchy helps keep men in line is by the separation of women and men. In this way, the women can go off and scheme and plan for their matriarchy so they can control the world. One way to do this is with the internet. There's way less women visible on the internet. The matriarchy does this to keep men sexually frustrated and away from women so they can complete their plans for world domination. Another way they do this is through religion. The majority of church memberships are women. The churches are safe havens for women to plot and plan their matriarchy. Also swearing, the word cunt, which is considered the harshest swear word in the English language, is about a woman's reproductive parts. It's all about women. All about women. Everything is designed. Fuck this shit.